Howdy everybody, me again. I am in Mallaig on the west coast of Scottish mainland. Going to get a ferry to Skye tomorrow, all very exciting. But today's action, 10th day of cycling. Woke up this morning in Craignure on the Isle of Mull. It's getting a bit chillier in the mornings now. I don't know if that's just because we're sort of 2/3 of the way through August, or because we're getting north, or just the weather's a bit crap at the moment. Anyway, also noticed my Garmin, the sunsets are getting later as I'm moving further north as well. It's 9 o'clock sunset here. I'll have to see when we're 200 or 300, whatever miles it is further north on Friday, if it's any later or not. Anyway, on to this morning. Bit of a chaotic start to the morning. I was all packed up, ready to go, and then realised I was still wearing these glasses, so then I had to undo my suitcase to put them away, and then we put it in the van, and then I realised I hadn't put my chamois cream on, which is the cream you smear on your backside basically to make it a bit more sturdy and not so susceptible to saddle sores and irritations and all that sort of business. So we had to hang about anyway, because Steve, one of the other Steves, his bike broke a spoke, so they were sorting that out. So I got my bag back off the van and got my chamois cream out, and in the garden of our B&B I basically went up to the woodshed, which has no door on it or anything, and just went in there and smeared cream on my backside. Lucky no one walked past, because it was sort of in view of the main road, but it being the Isle of Mull, it was very quiet luckily. That was an amusing start to the morning. Anyway, a bit chaotic. Then we had a nice short 5-mile ride to the ferry at Fishnish on the Isle. Now we've got a short ferry across to Lochaline, however you pronounce it, I don't know. Which is back on the mainland, and then we rode on the mainland for the rest of the day. Very good scenery, hills, lots of hills, but the scenery really took off today. I've been saying it's been spectacular, really nice all along, but yeah, it really went to another level today, and really nice weather to really bring it out. It's not the sort of scenery you want to be hanging around in if the weather's not good, but we've been really blessed this week. Lots of water around today, as well as just sort of hills and greenery. Lots of lochs and even some beaches and sort of seafront later on in the day as well. So absolutely stunning. Exactly what this trip is all about, and just a pleasure to cycle through, grinning from ear to ear. Just fantastic experience. Exactly what it's all about. So yeah, it was really good. Took loads and loads of pictures. The only thing was I was struggling a bit today. I think everybody was a bit. It was a hard day anyway. But I got to about 30 miles in, and then suddenly realised, my body's not having this anymore. So that was a bit of a rude awakening after the last couple of days of good form, but only to be expected, I suppose, after I rushed for that ferry yesterday, and just it being day 10, it's all added up, and it was a hard day today. The last few days have been easier, but we did over 1,500 metres of climbing again today, which is a hard day at the best of times, let alone after 700 miles of cycling or whatever we've done so far. But the fact that the scenery was so great, it just meant you couldn't grumble really, and it was a pleasure cycling through it. So I was in no rush to sort of get to where I was going, apart from the fact that it was hard work and physically tiring. It was just nice being out in it. So it was no chore, sort of trundle along at a slower speed, apart from the fact that I felt like I wanted to die occasionally. Had a nice lunch, lovely macaroni cheese in a nice setting, Had the brew van in the afternoon. Niv parked up at a nice. He actually sort of went down onto a sort of I don't know if it was a loch or what, but it was it was all sort of pebbles and stuff. It's, I don't know how to describe it, but it's very nice anyway. And I had a little bit of refreshment and just sat there, had a nice chat with him for a while actually. None of the others were around, everyone was a bit spread out, and talked about a bit of work, both what's going on with my work and him, because he does crazy stuff, going to the Antarctic and things, as I mentioned in the previous thing. Him and Tom, the other guy on this trip, they're real inspirations actually. They just get out and do stuff. They're so active, and don't let anything hold them back. If they've done it before or whatever, they just seem to get out and do things with their lives. So it's quite an inspiration, really. So anyway, yeah, nice little afternoon hang out with him. Then back on my bike to grind out the final miles. It was about 77 miles today, something like that, I think. The last few miles dragged on a bit, but a nice girl cyclist actually. We crossed paths a couple of times. I stopped to take a photo by the road, and she whizzed past and just said something to me. Said, "Oh, this is paradise, isn't it?" And I just said, "Yeah, it's just a shame I've got no energy." And then I actually passed her a bit further up and then stopped for another photo. And she stopped and took a photo of me. And we just chatted briefly, told her what I was doing. And she was from Glasgow, but she's up here setting up a business or something like that. Only talked for a couple of minutes, but it's just really nice bumping into someone and chatting. Someone outside of our group as well. So that was very pleasant. She didn't take the best photo, but you can't have everything. And I saw Tom, our one of our guides, coming the other way on his bike. They both get out. I think Niv's been going out running most nights, and Tom's been trying to get out on his bike and do little bits of exercise as and when he can. I think they both start climbing the walls if they don't get any crazy exercise in for about 24-48 hours. So they've been fitting what they can. But I saw Tom on his bike. That was cool. Hardly recognised him in all his cycling gear. Lots of nice beaches later on in the day. And then finally got to Mallaig, which is a nice little sort of fishing or harbour town. Pretty small. Walked around it in about 5-10 minutes tonight, but it's very nice. Had a nice sea bass risotto tonight, just ate by myself. That worked out well. I nearly ran over a tiny little frog today, so further wildlife action. No midges, or at least no midge bites anyway. I know they're about, but it hasn't turned into the horror story that people have mentioned yet. The way some people were talking, it's like we're going to have to walk around in beekeepers' outfits or something to keep ourselves protected, but touch wood, that's not been the case yet. Just need to emphasise it's a hard day really. My body's tired now, aches and pains and a bit of grief today. My fingers on my right hand, two of my fingers my palms really hurt from being on the handlebars, but it must be compressing or irritating a nerve or something, because I get a sort of weird sort of pain in two of my fingers sometimes, and it shoots up my right arm. But it's not the end of the world. As long as it doesn't get much worse, I can cope with it. My left heel hurts a bit as well. I think that's just where my clip-in shoe goes. When I pull up with it, it's maybe just a sort of repetitive strain thing there. But again, not the end of the world. And I've got some weird sort of spot on the inside of my eyelid here, which might just be one of those things completely unconnected. I suspect it's just because my body's a bit sort of run down and susceptible to these weird little sort of things at the moment, though. I'm sure you're fascinated by all that. But I just sort of document how my body's falling apart. Hopefully I'll be better tomorrow. early start. Well, a bit earlier start tomorrow. There's a 7:50 ferry to Skye, and we have to get it. Otherwise, it screws up all the logistics for the rest of the trip, basically. So an early start to be on board for that, which means I also want to get my head down in a minute. I saw a nice steam train on the way into Mallaig as well. They've got a quaint little railway station. There's an old-fashioned steam train there. I couldn't be asked to stop to take a photo of it by that point. It was through a sort of wire fence, so it wouldn't have come out very well anyway. And that's the one drawback of it being stunning scenery today. It seemed like every 20 yards or every couple of minutes I was stopping to take a photo, so it was very stop-start from that point of view. Took so many photos, but I shouldn't complain about stunning scenery. And tomorrow it's supposed to get even better. We go to Kinlochwe or Kinlochwe or something. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm doing it wrong, no doubt. Again, it's going to be a very hard day for hills and whatnot. But they say on their little sort of daily notes here, what did they say? They said something about be one of the best days. Today's another tough day, yet the scenery is stunning and one of the best days riding you will ever do. I've not seen anything like that on their notes before, and these guys have taken us to some very spectacular places already and on Land's End John O'Groats. So for them to be saying that, it must really be something special. The weather's supposed to hold, which is brilliant again. So 76 miles tomorrow. Really looking forward to it. Hope the body holds up a bit better. But yeah, it should be really good. So I'll tell you all about it tomorrow. That then is day 11. So yeah, there's only 3 full days riding, 11, 12, 13, and then a shorter day on the last day. So the end is in sight here. So even though these days are hard and the body's now starting to struggle a bit, the end's in sight. So and the whole experience is making it worth it, obviously. Right, I'll leave it there for tonight. I'm going to get some kit. Bye.